Dee's Adventure. The sun shone through a crack in the curtains and fell across Dee's face. It woke her up. She sat up and remembered that today she had her friends Bo and Pikey coming to play. She got out of bed and ran straight downstairs without even washing. There was no sign of them. On the table, though, was a letter addressed to her. She opened the envelope and read. "Go back upstairs and wash and dress," it said. "Then come down and have your breakfast." That was all it said. Dee was a little sad, because she hoped that Bo and Pikey would have been there already. She went back upstairs and washed herself, making sure that she cleaned her teeth properly. Then she got dressed. She put on her yellow t-shirt and her favourite dungarees. Then she brushed her beautiful red hair 100 times before going back down the stairs. As she got her eggs from the fridge, she saw another letter. Eagerly she tore it open. "Have your breakfast and then head to the barn. Look carefully at what is on the door." Dee swallowed her scrambled eggs and then ran to the barn. There, pinned on the door, was a sign, "Go back and get your straw hat. It's hot and you don't want to get sunburnt." Sighing, Dee ran back again, got her straw hat and came back. There was a new sign now. "Walk down to the creek and find a flat stone. Lift it and read what is underneath." Dee didn't walk. She ran as fast as her legs could carry her. When she got to the creek there was no stone, though. She hunted and hunted. She sat down on the grass and felt very disgruntled. Where was the stone? Suddenly she saw something glint just in the water. She got as close to the edge as she dared. In the water lay a huge turtle. She smiled at him. He looked back at her and suddenly flipped over. On his belly was written the words, "Stand on me." Dee was very nervous, but she was also a good and obedient girl, so she did as she was bid. Suddenly, and somewhat alarmingly, she was being borne across the creek. She wished that she brought her rubber boots. Her feet were getting awfully wet. Suddenly they were there, and Dee jumped off the turtle and onto the bank. The turtle turned back over and dived deep. Dee looked around and saw a flat stone. She lifted it, and underneath there was written, "Pick a posy of flowers and wait." She looked about her. There were little yellow buttercups and white daisies all across the field. She set to work. She thought hard. Who was giving her all these instructions? Must be Bo, she said to herself. Bo's not bossy, but she does do being in charge very well. She smiled to herself because she loved Bo very much. You could always trust Bo to look after you. Soon she had the prettiest posy that you ever saw. Not too big, not too small, just the right size. "Now what?" she said aloud. Just at that moment she heard a buzzing sound. Looking about she saw a huge swarm of bees. They had formed themselves into letters. "Follow us," the swarm read. So she did. They were quite fast and poor Dee had to run quite hard. Soon she was panting. "Wait!" she called, but too late. The bees had disappeared over the hill. She leant back against an old oak stump and closed her eyes. When she opened them again, there was a cow licking her face. Dee jumped up in fright. "Sorry, didn't mean to frighten you," said the cow. "You can talk," exclaimed Dee. "Of course," said the cow. "We all can. It's just that humans rarely bother to listen to us." Dee stared hard at the cow. "I'm a bit lost," she said. The cow nodded and chewed a mouthful of grass. "Thought so," she said. "Sorry. I know that it's rude to speak with my mouth full, but it's been a busy morning so far." She chewed some more. "Now, what is it I meant to tell you?" The cow looked at Dee, and Dee looked back at her expectantly now. "Oh, yes," said the cow. "You've to climb that hill over there," she said, pointing her head in the direction of a low hill behind the field. "And when you get to the top, you'll find what you're looking for." Dee sighed. "Thank you. I don't actually know what I'm looking for, but I hope that it's there." The cow nodded and went on with her chewing. Dee wasn't sure of the etiquette of thanking talking cows, so she gave her a little peck on the cheek and rushed off across the field. "Mind how you go," came the cow's cry. "I will," called back Dee, but she didn't, because just as she said those words, squelch, She trod in something very smelly. Yuck! Shrieked Dee. She took off her sneakers and ran barefoot now. By the time that she got to the top of the hill, she was out of breath again. She looked down, and there below was the sweetest little lake that she had ever seen. Beside it, she saw a table. As she got closer, she could see that on the table were lots of good things: lemonade and ginger beer, boiled eggs, cucumber sandwiches, a tomato salad, and scones and cream. Pinned to the middle of the table was yet another letter. She opened it and read, "Put the posy in the little honey-coloured vase, then close your eyes and make a wish. Keep your eyes closed." She closed her eyes tight and wished. For a few seconds all was quiet. Then, gently, she felt the lightest brush, and she was kissed simultaneously on both cheeks. "Open," came the instruction. Dee squealed with delight. Standing there beside her was Bo and Pikey. They had their swimming costumes on, and Bo held Dee's in her hands. "Come on, Slowcoach, we're going for a dip." "Hooray," thought Dee. "This is going to be a perfect day." And I hope it is.